Coach says smoke is smoke, so I just love that he has that mentality, and it just trickled down to us as a team.
Hey, you know what? Smoke is smoke, and the Jaguars, they want all the smoke as they keep on rolling through the competition. Jaguars are now on a winning streak, and they sit alone at the top of the AFC South. Welcome into Teal the Show. It is a Victory Monday style show. We got Kyle hanging out. Kyle, have you finally dried off from what was a rainy one on Sunday?
Hey, it was wet, but like you said, they're smoking hot. 9-4 in the 904. That's what people are saying. So I've been told.
It's a bar. It's a bar. Look, it is a good time for the Jags right now. They are in first place in the AFC South. They're 9-4. I mean, look, it was an interesting game against the Indianapolis Colts, but you know what? The Colts just don't win in Jacksonville. 11 straight. 11 straight. The curse is real.
The streak continues.
The streak continues. Look, it just keeps on rolling. And this Jaguars team is hot. It's December, and they're hot, they're rolling, and they control their own destiny. Now, the Texans are right on the heels, and we'll talk about that a little bit later on in the show. But overall, it is a Victory Monday. The Jaguars keep on rolling, and they control their own destiny, and that's what you want.
Unfortunately, I think I'm going to get a little used to these Victory Mondays, but we'll slow it down. We'll wait and see. There's still a few more games to go. Like you said, we'll get into it. I will say, with this game in particular, though, we knew it was going to be wet and rainy. We thought the run game was going to be a big part. But I'll say Trevor Lawrence, and we'll get to our grades here shortly. Trevor Lawrence played a lot better than maybe I expected or was just surprised by some of the throws he made. Now, we did talk to head coach Liam Cohen and asked him, was it his expectation to get to this point with Trevor? And he said he really didn't have anything.
I mean, there was no real expectations, I don't think. You just try to take it week by week and keep coaching up things that need to get improved upon and working on things that we're doing well. So, look, you hit strides at different times in different seasons. It's just the way it goes. And try not to overthink it. Try not to dive into too many what ifs and this and that. So you just kind of keep coaching. You keep the standards high and the expectations high. And, I thought he rose to the occasion yesterday and played at a high level. He was really accurate. I mean, really had the two drops too that you can understand a little bit in the elements, but was really I thought it was one of his more accurate games, big plays that we needed on critical third downs. So hopefully we can continue to ride the momentum.
It was one of his better days. I mean, it was one of his better days of the season, and really, the pivot point was the let it rip moment, right? Liam Cohen got up there. They said, I just told Trevor to let it rip. And from there, Trevor's let it rip, and honestly, his stats show it. His stats have been much improved, and that game against the Colts is one of his better games this season, maybe one of the better games he's had as a pro. It's a pretty good day, dropping some darts out there for his guys.
Yeah, Trevor and the team definitely peaking at the right moment. So let's hand out some grades. This is normal Victory Monday fashion here.
All right.
And since we're talking about Trevor, go ahead and give me a grade for Trevor.
A grade for Trevor Lawrence. I'd give Trevor a solid, I'd give him a solid A. I think Trevor earns a solid A on it, right? I mean, Trevor had a really good day. He dropped some dimes out there on the field. And look, overall, there's not a whole lot that you'd expect the guy to do different. I think he did what you needed him to do, and he's really been on a tear. We've seen Trevor get hot before, and if he gets hot, Jaguars are dangerous. And right now, it looks like 16's rolling.
And I know we don't like to use the game manager term, but he was managing the game well. I like to think of him, he does a little more than that, but I can agree with an A. He definitely helped the game go smoother and led him in the right direction. Let's go a little different player who we definitely saw shine. Tim Patrick caught some of those Trevor balls.
Yeah, look, Tim Patrick, probably not a name. He's not a household name, right? But Tim Patrick was out there. He made a couple of big plays, including a touchdown catch from Trevor. I mean, he's another guy who gets an A. Tim Patrick, when he got his number called, has taken advantage of the opportunity. Parker Washington was down. The Jaguars needed somebody to step up. Tim Patrick's done it. And a lot of the guys in the locker room have given Tim Patrick a lot of credit because he does the dirty work a lot of times. He's run blocks. He's able to play all the different positions on the offense. He is a veteran receiver who, when his numbers called, did exactly what the Jaguars needed him to do. You can't give him anything but an A for that.
Hey, no qualms here. Let's stick with receiver BTJ, second game back from injury. I definitely thought he made some pretty big plays.
Well, It's a blowout win. You're asking me about all the guys, and the A's keep rolling, right? Brian Thomas Jr., at this point, he's 3 for 3 against the Indianapolis Colts for having big days. I mean, he made the one-handed grab. BT's gotten off to the slow start to the season, but he's finding his foot, and he got healthy, and he's making big plays. And if the guy that we expected BT to be this season starts showing up the rest of the way, Jaguars get more and more dangerous, man. That was Brian Thomas. I talked to Jacoby Myers in the locker room after the game. He said he doesn't think Brian Thomas has a ceiling to his talent. And if that ceilingless talent starts showing up more and more this season, that Jaguars wide receiver room is dangerous.
Hey, I don't have any problem with all A's. I mean, anytime I got all A's, my parents were happy, so.
That's right, on a roll.
I can live with all A's. Let's go defense here. One of our favorites, Jarian Jones.
Look, Jarian had himself a good day. Jarian scooped up a fumble and probably would have had an interception. I mean, Eric Murray tipped it, so he should have had that one. If there was any deduction, it would be because he dropped that pick that he probably could have had, should have had. I know he wanted to have. But Jarian's quietly really put together a couple of really good weeks out there on the field for the Jaguars. He started the season in the starting lineup, had a few struggles, and got kind of regulated off to the bench and was out of the rotation. He got healthy. He got back out on the field, and now he's showing up and he's showing out in a big way late in the season. Look, Jarian is one of the guys that's stepping up for the Jags in big-time moments. This is when you start talking about how you get hot late in the season, this is how it happens. You get guys that maybe you ended up getting benched or the early part of the season didn't go the way you needed it to go, but they kept battling through it, and now he's on the other side and he's making plays.
Like you said, everybody making plays, complimentary football, all at the right moment. We still got to finish out the season, and I know we'll talk a little more of that playoff action. But that's it for the report card, and we'll see you right after this quick break.
All the people that are going to say that we're not a good team, we'll see them in the Super Bowl.
I mean, it's about as simple as that. You see them in the Super Bowl, right? Look, the Jaguars are rolling. They have as good a chance as anybody of making it to the Super Bowl. The AFC is wide open. I mean wide open. The Kansas City Chiefs are out of the playoff contention. It's going to be wide open. So who's going to go and take it? Why can't it be the Jags?
Hey, they're number one right now. The race is, it's still kind of close, but after some injuries and they've already played the Texans twice, they do have somewhat of a decent chance to go ahead with these last 4 games and finish out strong. Here's the percentages right there.
Yeah, look, right now they are number 1 in the division. They're number 1 in the AFC South, and this is according to the Athletic NFL Playoff Simulator. The Jaguars have a 59% chance of winning the division. The Texans have now moved ahead of the Colts, where they have a 38%, and the Indianapolis Colts are down to 3%. So these are shifting all over the place all the time, but the Texans are closing in on the Jaguars, right? So because of tiebreakers, the Jaguars need to win the rest of their games to keep them off their heels, specifically the one in 2 weeks against the Denver Broncos, because that one could end up being a tiebreaker kind of game between the Jaguars and the Texans if they finished with the same record somehow. So we'll keep an eye on this thing. But right now, look, yeah, the Jaguars are in the driver's seat of the AFC South. If it all wrapped up right now, they're the 3 seed in the AFC with the Broncos and the Patriots ahead of them. Well, the Patriots got a big-time matchup on Sunday Night Football against the Baltimore Ravens coming up. Well, that one's far from a gimme, plus the Broncos got to play the Jaguars. So the Jaguars could very well catch them. Very well catch them. Need a little help, but they could catch them and move up in that pecking order as long as they keep taking care of business.
The phrase is they control their own destiny, and like you said, that game against the Broncos will be a big one.
Yep.
And we've seen them in these pressure moments when they've had a chance, they've showed up. So, I mean, I'm excited to finish out the season and see where it goes.
Yeah, it's going to be an exciting finish. It's going to be a race to the finish. That's how you want it. The Jaguars control everything. All they got to do is take care of business. This week, they got the New York Jets coming to Jacksonville. The Jets really been struggling. So,
and we'll be out there for that one, too.
We will be out there for that one.
That's back-to-back home games.
It is back-to-back home games. We'll be back at the Slab. Rain kind of pushed us away from our Tailgate show being over there, but we'll be back out there for this one. We'll be back out there for this one with another Tailgate over at the Slab, getting ready for it. And we'll be back on Friday night at 11:20 right here on Channel 4 with another Teal the Show, where we'll talk a little bit more about what the Jaguars got to do to get a dub against the New York Jets. They're heavy favorites in this one, so a win's probably more expected than in question. But we'll talk all about it on the next episode of Teal the Show. Hopefully you'll come hang out with us on Friday night. Good night, everybody, and go Jags.